Welcome to SB Union High School and Junior College. Now we are going to discuss about computer programming. So what is the computer programming? What is a program? How to write the program? Why we require the program? So we'll cover this topic in this video. So computer programming. Computer programming is defined as the process of creating computer software using a programming language. So what is the software? We heard about the software. We heard about that is a different programming languages are there. Means this programming language or the computer programming is nothing but it is used to create that particular software. Then why this software creation we require? That is the different applications we are creating nowadays as there is a huge changes and the demand in technology for the computers and the applications, so we require day by day the modifications in the previous application. So develop like these applications and the software, we have to do the programming, and again in the programming the languages comes, that is the program we can write by using the different language. So that we are going to discuss about that programming language that we require for the programming as per the demand of the human beings, that is the users and users of the computer. Computer programs are written by human individuals, that is the programmers who write the programs, those called as a programmers. A computer program is a step by step of instructions that a computer has to work through in a logical sequence in order to carry out a particular task. Okay, means we write the program. We write the programs means what? We write the instructions, step by step instruction in a logical sequence. So what is the logic of the program? In that logic, we write the program's instruction step by step. So when we say the program, it is a set of instructions given to the computer to execute, to perform that particular task. The computer executes these instructions when told to do so by the user. Means when we open that particular application, we are going to perform something action. Means the command is given to execute these instructions. That is a program. So everything in a computer is in the form of the program, and there are the different programming languages are there. Programming languages are the vocabulary and the set of grammatical rules for instructing a computer to perform specific task. Okay, so whatever that programming language is there, for each and every programming language there is a one grammatical rule is there, that is a standard rule is there that we have to follow when we are going to write the programs, that is set of grammatical rules. By using this, we can instruct a computer to perform a specific task so that each and every time it will show the same output. As it is written, the program is right by using this grammatical rule. There are many different types of programming languages, each having a unique set of keywords and special syntax for organizing program instructions. Okay, so what? There are the many different types of the programming language and each having a unique set of the keywords. So it is depend on the programming language. There are the some different structure of the program writing in a C, that is some different in a C++, then the Java. Again, syntax, that is the grammatical rules are different. Then the keywords that we are using, those are also different. So this is depending while designing that particular programming language. Now we are going to explain about the syntax. So what is the syntax? When we learn the C++ or any programming language, that time we have to follow the syntax. Then what is that syntax? Or why to follow that syntax? Because when you want to program, when you create the software, when you create that particular application, that should be execute in a proper way, okay, as per the requirement of the users. So that we have to follow what is the grammatical rule is there, what is the spelling is there for that programming language, so that we can create a program very perfect. And it is nothing but it is a syntax, whatever the rule is defined while creating a program, while writing a program, that is called as a syntax of a program. Each program define its own syntactical rules that control which words the computer understand, which combination of words are meaningful, and what punctuation is necessary. So it is different for the different programming language. Which are the keywords? Keywords means what is the words are there. We are using that programming language having the some specific meaning. When we combine the word, different word in that programming language having the particular meaning that we have to remember. And by using these things, we are going to write the program. What is the punctuation marks is there? Where to use that punctuation marks? That we have to follow when we are writing the program. So it is nothing but it is a syntax, it is a grammar, or it is a rule provided for that programming language. Text-based programming language are based on sequence of characters, while visual programming languages are based on the spatial layout and the connections between symbols, which may be textual or graphical. So this is about the syntax, means it is the rules provided while we are writing the program that we have to follow when we want to expect that particular output. Now we see the level of programming. Programming languages are classified into five major categories as machine language, it is a first generation language, assembly language, it is a second generation language, third generation language, fourth generation language, and natural language. Machine and assembly languages are referred to as low level languages. Third generation, fourth generation, and natural languages are categorized as high level languages. Okay. So this is the just levels of programming languages. A low level language is a machine dependent. That is, it is written to run on one particular computer. A high level language is a machine independent, which means the high level language code can run on many different types of the computer. So that is a machine dependent, means that particular code will be executed where it is written. And the high level, where we write the code by using the high level, it can be executed by different types of the computer. There are two types of low level programming languages as machine language and the assembly language. Now see the classification of language, that is the computer language divided as low level language, middle level language and the high level language. In a low level language we can say that the machine language as it uses ones and zeros to create the instruction, for example binary language. Then for the middle level language, that is the assembly language, it uses mnemonics to create the instructions, assembly language. And the high level language, it is similar to human language, COBOL, Fortran, BASIC, C, C++, and Java. So this is the classification about the computer language. Now we see about the machine language, that is the first generation language. The machine language writes programs using the machine codes of 1 and 0, which is directly understood by the computer as the code written by using the machine language so that machine can understand. The main problem with using machine code directly are that it is very easy to make a mistake and very hard to find it once you realize the mistake has been made, as it consists of the only two symbols, that is a 0 and 1. So it is easy to find to create the errors. That is, if we forget, instead of writing 00 we write 11 or 01, then it should display the other output or can execute the other instruction so that the errors is easily happens. Now we see about the some characteristics of first generation language. It is first one, fastest to execute because it is already in the language that the computer can understand. Okay, machine level. It is the machine language, that is the language of the computer. So when two people whose mother tongue is the English and when they communicate, they can easily communicate. But the two people having the two different mother tongue, then it is very difficult to understood that particular language easily. That is the fastest. Same way it is the fastest. Difficult to interpret, requires the aid of reference manual to interpret the meaning of each code. Then it is easy to make mistakes in the sequence of ones and zero. As I told, if we replace 1 for 0, then it will result in the wrong command or the instruction being executed. Then it is difficult to identify the mistakes. As I say, all the codes should look like same so that it is very difficult to find out that particular mistakes where it is happens. Is time consuming and tedious to write. Machine dependent, programming becomes more difficult as the complexity of the program increases. So this is about the characteristic of first generation language. Now we see about the some assembly language, that is the second generation language. Assembly language is written using mnemonic codes, that is abbreviated English words or short codes that suggest their meaning and are there for easier to remember. As we know the meaning of that particular word, then we can easily understand and we can use. So it is assembly level language is easier than machine language. This code represent operations addresses that relate to main memory and storage register of the computer. Typical codes might be LDA, STO, ADD, NOP, etc. So this is just about the assembly language. Now we see characteristic of second generation language. As with machine language, assembly language is a machine dependent. Okay, again it is also the machine dependent, means where it is written or for which machine or for what environment it is designed, for that only it is executed. Assembly language, being machine dependent, is faster and more efficient in use for hardware than high level programming language. Obviously, there is no any conversion takes place. Assembly language have to be translated into machine language by language translator known as assembler for the processor to understand. As it requires the assembler, but it is not the such processing for the like as a high level. So it is the fastest, easier to write than machine language. Obviously, there are some words that we can understood or remember so that it is easy to write the program in assembly. The code is not very easy to understand, hence the introduction of high level programming languages. Okay, so this is about the characteristic of second generation language. Now we discuss about the high level programming languages. High level programming language is defined as one that is machine independent and uses variables and the objects, boolean expressions, functions, loops, array, threads, locks which are similar to their meaning. Okay, so these types of the words that we are going to use in a high level so that we can easily do the program in a high level as compared to other programming like the assembly and the machine. High-level languages have evolved over the years and can be grouped into five categories as third generation language, fourth generation language, object-oriented programming languages, fifth generation language, and scripting language. These languages are problem oriented, so they are machine independent, obviously. Since high level languages reflect the logic and procedure used in human algorithms. The programmer is able to concentrate on developing task algorithms rather than how the computer will carry out the instructions. So when we are writing the algorithm, in that we can use the logic, how that program is going to execute, so that we can concentrate for the developing. The programmer must still specify a complete set of detailed instructions. The words and the grammar of high-level languages are English-like, and this makes the program more readable and easy to write. So this is about the some characteristics. High-level languages are machine independent. They can be used on different computer systems. Since the syntaxes of high-level languages are standardized, the languages are portable. Syntax should be standard, means the rules are fixed, whatever that for writing the program. The language is portable, means can execute the program on different machine. A high-level language is governed by a strict syntax, that is a set of grammatical rules. So we have to compulsory strictly follow that grammatical rules when we are designing the program using the high level language. They are easier to read, write, and maintain. They also permit faster development of large programs. Programs written in high level language must be translated into machine language by compiler and the interpreter. So that we require the program converters. Characteristics of high level language. First, they are machine independent, hence portable. So we can execute any program on any different machine. They are user friendly and easy to learn. High level language programs are easy to debug. They are more flexible, hence they enhance the creativity of the programmer, increasing productivity. They are executed much slower than low level programming language. That is a process of compilation, etc. takes place. They have to be translated into machine code before execution. This is done by the compiler and the assemblers. One instruction translate into several machine code instructions. So this is about the some characteristic of the high level language. Now we are going to see major high level programming languages used, where it is used, which languages are used. Fortran, Fortum, Formula Translator. It is developed in late 1950s, developed to design scientific applications. COBOL. It is a common business-oriented language. It is developed in early 1960s to develop business applications. Third, RPG, that is a report program generator. It was developed in early 1960s to assist in generating reports and complex calculations. Next, basic. Beginners all-purpose symbolic instruction code. It is developed in mid-1960. Basic version include MS Basic, QBasic, Small Basic, and the Visual Basic. Pascal. It was developed in late 1960s for the purpose of teaching structured programming concept. C. It is developed in early 1970s to write system software. ADA. It was developed in the late 1970s, originally developed to meet the needs of embedded computer system. So these are the some high level programming language and their use, their purpose of the designing or development of this type of the programming language. So we have seen what is the programming and which are the different programming languages, that is the levels of programming language and their characteristics. Thank you.